So the stock market has a really bad problem at the moment. Here in the bottom corner, this is the weekly chart. We can see that the 200 SMA is the red line and the 50 SMA is the blue line. So right now the stock market is in a bit of a downtrend, and we can see that if it does actually keep getting worse, that the next one that it could hit is all the way down to $450. But if we have a look at our daily chart, we can see that the 200 SMA is actually above the stock price right now. So this could be a good indication that the market has actually, gone pretty bad, that hopefully it does have some support. And as we can see, it does try to reach the higher highs, that it does keep getting smacked down. So I assume it's going to retest this support here at 549. What is up everybody, Gifford here, and welcome to another stock video. Today we're going to be talking about my Sharesies portfolio and what I'm buying. I think it's a good opportunity to buy right now while the market is down and continues to come down. So let's have a look at what I'm doing. So the first slide I want to show you is my tracker. Now we haven't gone to the end of the month just yet as of recording. When I release this video it probably will be the new month, but yeah, the data is just from now. So we can see here that my Sharesies portfolio is the dividend and growth account. We have my options portfolio and also the private. So we can see there that the target is Q1 is to have 61,600, and right now I'm actually at 74, and that's because I have put a big amount of money in to my options trading, so kind of my dry powder money, that now that the market has softened, I want to be able to buy shares or look for opportunities to buy shares in these beaten down stocks. So this has skewed my tracking a little bit. Now I can't really do much about that. As you can see in the private, that's gone actually low, and some of that has actually been put into the options account. But overall, unless I do lose a lot of money in that options account, it is well above my target, and that's the main thing. So we can see here my Sharesies portfolio has had a bit of a change. Now I've just blocked out the ticker symbols because I'll go over that later, but we can see here that the ETFs, the highest one is at 12%. I've got two of those, and then the rest is just 10% with a target allocation of 75%. And then my individual stocks that you see here is only going to be weighted up to 25%. This gives me a total of 100%, but obviously you can see there just a bonus one is Sharesies, and I've got 1.8%, so that's over its allocation at the moment. So during the changes to my portfolio, what I actually ended up doing was going to the $15 plan. So I pretty much used $5,000 of it to sort of buy and sell out of my, and I used $2,500 of that as well to buy into my new ETFs. So the $15 plan was a good thing for me to have. Going into the next month, I actually changed this to $7 plan because I'm doing some minor changes, but eventually I'd like to get back to the $3 plan because I think that is a good amount of money for me to invest into the market. And with the $15 plan, you actually get some extra perks with it, which is NZX market depth, which is no good to me because I do not invest any into the NZX apart from my smart shares, obviously. So the US live pricing in there, and this is also air points, dollars that you can top up, although this is pretty minimal if you've actually read how much you get in return, so I wouldn't even count that as a bonus, right? So next we'll go into my Sharesies, and I'll show you how many shares I have and the total values and also the percentages that I didn't show before. We'll also go into the one ETF and one growth stock that I am doing. I'll show you some of the dividends that I have made for this month, and I'll also show you the plan and show a buying trick that I managed to find out when I was on that $15 plan. So going into my Sharesies account, I have $18,000 money that I put in there, and the current investments is at $19.6 thousand. It's got a simple return of 9.22% and a total return of $1,700. We can see here that I've got an estimated $1,000 in my wallet ready to invest. And just sort of a heads up, Sharesies has actually changed the view and the sort, so you can have different ones that you will be changing here. The returns, if that's something that you want to do, can show the returns there. Well, good one by Sharesies, so that's pretty good. But right here is just showing you my diversification, so it's about 74% for ETFs and 26%. So this is really good to actually see your overall of which sectors, or sorry, which the funds and the individual companies that you are investing in. But let's change this up a bit and have a look at sort of the returns, and then we'll change it to blocks because I quite like that, and just go to all-time high. So we can see here. What we might do though is we might go back to investment value, and this will be a lot better. So let's go to highest returns, and yeah, that's good enough. What is a little bit annoying under this one here is that you can't actually separate the ETFs from the individual companies, so it just sort of bangs it down here altogether, but that's okay. You can do it by changing this around, but obviously it changes the information in there, but that's okay. We'll go back to this one here. So these are all the current companies that I invested in. Let's go from the highest, right, of what's done pretty well. So we have Sharesies. I've got 8.6 shares of that, and that is currently up by 56%. I'm not buying any of that at the moment because I do have some over in my options account. Next we have VOO. So I have 2.2 shares of that, and it's currently up by 14%. Next one is the VYM, which is the dividend investing one. I have 12.5 shares of that, and that's up by 12.24%. Next we've got another dividend one, and I've got 26 shares of that, and that's currently up by 8.89%. See, it's good to see the upcoming dividends are, highlighted there. Next one is SCHD, and we have 40 shares of that at 7% return. We have Microsoft only at 1.5 shares of that at 4.6%. Then we come down to GP, which is also another dividend paying stock. So we've got 23 shares, and that is up by 3%. Now I am thinking about maybe getting rid of that one, but I'll just see how I go. We've got QQQ, and that I've got 2 shares of that, and it's only up by 1.5%. Then we have BlackRock, which is multi-sector income ETF, so that isn't doing too great, but we've got 40 shares of that, and it's currently down at 0.15%. So the biggest change to my account is actually this one here, and this is the Smart US Large Growth ETF, and I have been buying into this one heavy. So I sold some of my dividend stocks and individual stocks to buy into this main one here, and we can see the last 3 months that I have been buying heavy, and it's kind of steadied off now that I've started to fill my allocation in this. But currently I've got 151 shares in this, and it's down by 1.48. This is something that I will be dollar cost averaging into, and if you watch my videos I would have mentioned the main reason why I'm going to this one here is so that I can have my 5th tax paid for me, and I don't have to worry about that at all. The next one I got is ASML, and that is currently down at the moment 6%, and I've only got 0.18%, so this is a growth stock I am wanting to buy. I'm just waiting for it to come down a little bit further. Then we have AMD, so this is something I'm probably going to get rid of because this was a short-term trade, and this is just residual as well, so there's only 0.2 shares of that because it actually hit my stop loss. Same with this one here, VG. Now these 2 trades did not go well, and therefore it hit the stop losses, so these ones here I think is just residual stuff that should have been sold off but hasn't, so I'll be getting rid of those very soon. We have Google, that's currently down by 7%. I really think this is undervalued. I will be buying more of this, but we've got 4.9 shares, and yeah, so I think I will be buying some of these shares here this weekend. And the last one we have SoundHound, so I've got 46 shares of those, and it's currently down by 13%. That might be something I will look into buying more as it does come down. So if we look at Google here, you can see my 1-year history of just buying this here, catching some of the dips, and then also catching some of the highs, just periodically buying. So this is a good amount, and the reason why I do think it's undervalued is just this PE ratio metric here, and it's only 1.93 trillion market cap with a 0.49 dividend yield. I don't really buy it for the dividend yield, but yeah, I think this is a pretty low price for Google going up. It's got some headwinds because people think that its market share is actually, it's losing its market share in the search engine type thing, but I think Google is a very solid company and might be something I want to buy in. But remembering what I showed you before, that my allocation for Google is actually over that amount, but I might make an exception and just buy a tiny bit here and there. So let's go over to my wallet and have a look at the dividends paid recently, and yeah, we can see here I've got a huge dividend of $7.12 in there, and then a couple of small ones from Alphabet, Microsoft, so that's Google there, and then some from GP, and then the BlackRock. So one of the things I want to show you as well is if we have a look at the pricing plan, one of the tricks I actually end up doing is, say for example, see this, I've got 27 days left cover on this, right? And I've already used $700 of that out of my allotment, $1,000. So we can see here that I'm going to be going over there, and then what I'll do is I'll have to pay, these extra transaction fees, which is not good. So what you can actually do is use this auto invest order and see if you want to do it short term, because usually these auto invests, you kind of put it a week in advance or when you're going to buy it, right? But you can actually put it for the day, and then it will put the auto invest order at the end of the trading day. So how does that look like? Well, what you can do is go to explore, scroll down here, and it will say auto invest. So down here is auto invest. Now I've got a couple of ones that I want to buy, but for example, I want to buy like sort of right now, and I know that in my other account, my buy sell account, it's already reaching the limits, right? But what we want to do is we want to use that auto invest cap that they have in there. So we click manage. Let's just say we're buying AMD, edit this, yeah, go forward. And what you can actually do is change this here and go back and then change it for Saturday because it's Friday over there, and then just hit next. And what it will do is it will buy that at the end of the day. Now sometimes it doesn't always trigger, and then sometimes it buys it sort of, you know, on Monday. But yeah, to me, I've tried this a few times, and it's kind of best to do it on a Thursday, Friday, because then it just buys it on the ending of the day, and then it puts the allocation into the auto invest. So that's something to give it a try. It doesn't always work for some reason, I don't know why, but yeah, but it has for me a majority of the time. And you end up, instead of just buying that one there, you end up using some of this cap here, which means that the fees stay low. Just bear in mind that it's sort of a market order, so you kind of tend to pay a little bit higher price as opposed to set pricing when you do your normal buy sell, and in this one here, your normal buy sell. Anyway, that is my new Sharesies account, just showing you it's gone from a full dividend investing portfolio to now about 50% growth in it. And there I showed you how I used the $15 plan to get lower fees as I restructured the portfolio. And as you saw there, I'm going to be putting money more into the USG and just sort of set and forget as it handles the fifth tax for me. And then what I'll be doing is looking at opportunities where I can have a look at growth stocks and buy them short term and then sell them off. Obviously that's got its implications there with the tax, but we'll deal with that as we come along to it. If you have any questions, pop them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Feel free to use my referral codes and really help the channel out. If you want to hear more from me, feel free to head over to Instagram. I do posts every other day about what I'm doing in the market and just general stock market news. Hit like and subscribe to help the channel out. Watch this video a couple of times to get my watch time up. I'd really appreciate it. The trading platform I use is Interactive Brokers, Hatch Invest, Stake, and Sharesies for individual companies, and I use Invest Now for index funds. If you want to start investing, you can use any of my referral codes down below to start your own investing journey if you are from New Zealand. Thank you very much for watching, and I recommend watching one of these recommended YouTube videos. Have a nice day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.